Hi, welcome back to Jonesy Chats Wrestling. In just a few seconds, I'm going to tell you about last night's fantastic WWE Smackdown show. Also going to be discussing the Hall of Famer that's meant to be returning to WWE shortly. If you have got any opinion on Smackdown, please leave it in the comments below. Thank you very much for checking out the video. Stay tuned, I want to hear your opinions in the comments. I really want to know and hear sort of what you thought of Smackdown. It's going to be a really fun show. If anyone has joined us first time, new and old, new viewers and old, welcome. I hope you enjoy the show. Please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for all the good stuff. Please do support what we're trying to do here at Jonesy Chats Wrestling. Without further ado, let's get into the show then. So this is obviously coming off of quite a busy week in WWE. A lot has kind of happened this week. There's been a few people leaving, particularly the creative team. A few head of departments have gone as well, like Mark Carano's gone, and a few other things. So a lot of trepidation going into this kind of Smackdown, because obviously this week's Raw wasn't particularly great. It wasn't fantastic. So really looking forward to kind of seeing what the show would be, really. But the show obviously opens up. We've got a really kind of strong opening segment. We've got Roman Reigns there. It's just really kind of fun. We've got Roman Reigns, Jey Uso, Daniel Bryan, Seth Rollins, Cesaro. Really kind of long promo. Really fun. It ends up kind of with them just basically trading insults. It looks like almost like there's going to be kind of a tag match at some point. We've also got Jey Uso, Seth Rollins, Daniel Bryan, Cesaro there. They're all in this segment. It's a very fun segment for me. I really kind of enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. Looking at the match itself, so this led to a tag match. After the tag match, where this is a massive match to have open SmackDown. This is like a main event level match. It's absolutely huge to see that kind of match open up SmackDown. So let's look at the match itself. The match itself, really good. They got a lot of time. It went on quite a long time. Some great spots. Jey got a sort of great super kick. There was a nice discus lariat as well. And it was just really good. It was full of loads of near falls. Crucially, though, Cesaro and Daniel Bryan pick up the win. We get Seth Rollins basically leaving during the match, and Cesaro and Daniel Bryan pick up the win. Bryan gets the win after a knee on Jey, and that was a shock to me. I really thought Cesaro would get the win here, but no. Crucially, Daniel Bryan wins. Yeah, absolutely fantastic. They got 20 minutes. For 20 minutes they had, it was really good. We then get a fun promo. Daniel Bryan's basically calling out kind of Roman Reigns. It then ends up with Roman Reigns sort of not doing much. He never comes out. And it just ends up kind of with Jey Uso kind of getting swung around and getting kind of beat down. Yeah, really interesting. The crucial thing about this was the fact that Cesaro didn't really kind of do too much in this. It was all about Daniel Bryan, really. He was the focus. He was the one leading the promo and stuff like that. And I think it's just really fun. It's amazing to see how they pick up from Daniel Bryan sort of losing at WrestleMania to try and get back in the hunt here. It was great to see him sort of back here. The tag match was so good, though. And to have this aftermath, this was a really good storyline, and this took up most of the first part of SmackDown, really. Really kind of interesting thing. You're looking at kind of a load of dynamics here. There's loads of stuff going on at the same time, which makes it really kind of fun. We then obviously had this next match here. We got Jey Uso, next segment, it was Jey Uso getting interviewed by Kayla Braxton. Jey says he don't care about Seth Rollins or any disrespect for Cesaro. He says if Cesaro keeps trying to step up to Roman Reigns, he's about to be put down. So really keeping up the tension throughout the show as well. I really kind of enjoyed it. I thought the promo was good. We then come down slightly. We've got this match this week. It's Tamina versus Nia Jax. Clearly, this tag team match from WrestleMania is still going on. It doesn't seem to be going away. Crucially, we get Reginald back. So it's great to see Reginald back this week on SmackDown. It really kind of, I was happy to see him back. He really adds something to the tag and makes it a bit more bearable. This match was okay. It carries on much of the nonsense we saw on Raw. Crucially, we get Tamina getting the pinfall. That's a massive win on her, getting a win for over Nia Jax. Nia Jax don't really lose generally. It's been Shayna Baszler doing losses. So crucially, there's some dissension between Nia Jax and Shayna, and this is just kind of building up another tag match, really. I don't understand why at WrestleMania, why Tamina and Natalya couldn't get the job done. Really weird. I was glad it was short. The finish was a bit sloppy. The roll-up didn't look particularly good. I think this title change is probably going to happen at WrestleMania Backlash, and then we hope we're going to get the singles program of Nia Jax, Shayna. I think that's the route they need to go down. Let me know in the comments below if you kind of think that, or if you want to see sort of this end. Going to the comments, I've got a good one here from Martin Carrillo. Good afternoon to you, Martin. Thank you for checking out the stream. They need to let Cesaro talk for a bit and not just stand there and act like a kindergarten watching everyone else talk. I agree. He's not a very strong promo. That's the only thing with that, Martin. I think he's not particularly great at conveying himself on the mic, which is why Paul Heyman used to manage him. But I agree, he should speak. He was very much second fiddle on this show compared to Daniel Bryan. It was a bit strange to see. Carrying on with the show then, we then obviously had a fun sort of segment. We got Kevin Owens there backstage. He then kind of says that he's going to do what Biggie couldn't. He's going to basically get the Intercontinental title. Really kind of fun segment. It's great to see them tease sort of The match is happening later as well. And this was really, really good. What I'm liking about the placement of the show is everything's kind of been built up during the show. You really know what's coming next, and it's really, really good. It's much more organised than Raw. It's not chaotic. We then obviously had a kind of segment here where we got none other than a backstage scene where Daniel Bryan's going up to Adam Pearce. Daniel Bryan asked if Pearce is going to give Cesaro a Universal title match. Pearce said it's not simple as him snapping his fingers, but he's going to try. Bryan really pushed Cesaro to get the shot, really. Okay, so we then had this fun Intercontinental title match. So we've got Apollo Crews with Commander Aziz facing Kevin Owens. I was really kind of impressed with this match. I was really kind of excited. They start wrestling and stuff, and they get really kind of into it. From nowhere, in the middle of the match, we get Sami Zayn's music hit. And for me, I'm really not a fan of this. Wrestlers' music should be hitting in the middle of the match. In the old days, we used to have wrestlers just come out. There was more of a shock value when they just come out. The fact that the wrestler's music's hitting, that the referee's not doing anything, the referee's not aware, oh, this wrestler might interfere, it just doesn't kind of make sense to me. But in terms of the match, it was really, really good. Dabba-Kato clearly looked, I think he looked $1 million, his involvement in the match. I think he shows himself as a real threat. This Nigerian now finisher seems to be really, really good. Crucially, though, we do end up with Kevin Owens kind of getting pinned, and it's only by the roll-up again, which isn't that bad. But big win for Apollo. Apollo needs to stay strong. He's not had the Intercontinental title long. So I was a fan of this. I think it's the right thing to do. And I just think it was kind of fun, really. Obviously, post-match, we get Owens giving Apollo Crews a stunner. We then get Aziz, basically, there. And from nowhere, we get this Nigerian now finisher as well, which was really, really good. But I really kind of enjoyed it. I thought this was really, really fun. The roll-up, though, and the finish again is a bit stale. But no, I kind of enjoyed it. I thought that the fact that everyone's getting time on camera, it's a great opponent for Apollo Crews, Owens. But for me, it was good. It was good fun. And everybody kind of got time. Clearly, Dabba-Kato's getting over with this gimmick more than he did on Raw Underground, which is good, basically. We then obviously had another backstage segment. We've got Paul Heyman with Kayla Braxton, obviously the co-host on Talking Smack. She asked if Roman Reigns would accept the challenge from Cesaro. And it kind of said that it was just basically Paul Heyman dancing around the subject, basically, as well. We then have a fun backstage segment. We get Apollo Crews backstage with new announcer or new commentator Megan Morant. Crews says that it was the royal ancestors that were celebrating his victory tonight. And as it kept going on, it really, really good. Then from nowhere, we end up getting Big E returning. Big E then takes out Apollo Crews. That's the revenge for WrestleMania. I like it. Crucially, Dabba-Kato was away, so they was able to get that cheap shot on. And in the end, Commander Aziz then comes back. And he then obviously looks crestfallen, basically, with that. We then had a really kind of interesting point. We've got this video of Aleister Black. He's there basically with Virginette, his latest Virginette. Very much like the Xia Li stuff that's going on NXT. That reminded me of that. The story was the Dragon. It starts off largely almost like a babyface fable. And by the end of it, he's done a full-on heel turn. It went on for about 2 minutes. I kind of enjoyed it. It's great to see Aleister Black there. Clearly, he's coming back as a heel. I don't know where this is kind of going to go, but we need to see him back. And I wonder how many weeks they're going to build this story of his background and stuff. But I was pleased to see him back. It's great to have him back, and this new gimmick could be fun. He's far more better as a heel, really. I think he works much better as a heel. I just hope there's a lot of layers to this story. I hope this isn't another Bray Wyatt Fiend thing where we don't ever get any explanation to what the backstory is or where it goes, really. Going to go to the comments here. Got a great one here from Martin again. Thank you, Mike, for your comment again. Kevin Owens still has momentum for losing to Reigns. He lost to a roll-up. At least WWE uses him. 100%. That's the way to not bury somebody. Losing by a roll-up is far better than losing the clean, decisive finish. But no, I think you make a good point there, bud. Just going to quickly go to the rest of the show then. So, obviously, we then had this tag team interview. So it was Kayla Braxton with Dolph Ziggler, Robert Roode. They were going on about the Mysterios. In the end, it just kind of ends up with not much happening. Bayley then walks in. Bayley then basically says that she's going to get a title shot. She then obviously ends up with Street Profits being there. And in the end, it ends up with Bayley acting babyface, but then she comes back and does a heel sort of promo on Bianca. And then what that then leads to is obviously this announcement. So we're then obviously going to have this match at WrestleMania Backlash. Bianca versus Bianca defending the title against Bayley. For me, really excited to see this. We saw a lot of this last year with the obstacle course and stuff like that, or earlier on in the year. So I'm a massive fan of this. This is a great first opponent for Bianca, but it gives Bayley something to do. It's about time. I've been crying out for Bayley to have something to do in the ring for a long time, obviously after a misusing at WrestleMania, so I'm a massive fan of this. And I'm looking forward to seeing this clearly. Bianca's going to win this feud, though, I think. So it'll be a good match, definitely. We then had our last match of the evening. It was the Mysterios facing Otis and Chad Gable, the Alpha Academy. This was okay. It did what it needed to do. Everybody got offense. It's great to see Chad Gable there. Anything Chad Gable does is gold. I think he's a patriot in the match. He carried the match in large parts. But crucially, we get the Mysterios getting the win. I can only hope that the Mysterios are now going to win the SmackDown Tag Team titles. The way they're getting built up, they keep getting these wins. They couldn't get the job done at WrestleMania. Maybe this is the time for them to get the job when they get the shot. But WrestleMania Backlash, I could see this match happening. And it kind of makes sense, really. I think they need to get rid of this sort of feud, though, with the Mysterios, Otis and Chad Gable, the Alpha Academy, because it's the same thing every single kind of week. But the Mysterios need to get the title belt soon, really. I think if they could get it and have a run, it'd be good. We then obviously had this last kind of go-home segment. So we've obviously got Cesaro, Daniel Bryan, and Roman Reigns there. It ends up with kind of Roman Reigns coming out. It looks like Roman Reigns is going to accept Cesaro's challenge. Then suddenly his focus is then turned to Daniel Bryan. He says that his business with Daniel Bryan is not finished. He says that he wants to get rid of Daniel Bryan once and for all. And crucially, a match is made for next week. So it's going to be Daniel Bryan's career on the line against Roman Reigns, W title match. Last chance for Daniel Bryan to get the belt back. For me, I'm really kind of excited about this. I think this is a fantastic way to go home segment. So next week's SmackDown, it's absolutely stacked. We've got the Intercontinental title rematch from WrestleMania. We've got Daniel Bryan, Roman Reigns. You got to think though. Daniel Bryan's obviously losing this. I can't see how he doesn't. He's not going to beat Roman Reigns. He may get a DQ win to save his career, but for me, I think he wants to continue his work on the creative team. And I think having a hiatus makes sense. The only thing I think was kind of missing from this was Edge. Edge is still missing from SmackDown. There's no explanation where he is or something like that, which makes it a bit weird. But for me, my excitement for this main event next week is going to be good. Even though it's clear and obvious who's going to win, I think it's going to be a really fun sort of main event. I think both wrestlers will be good. And interesting where they go. Obviously, Roman's opponent at Backlash WrestleMania has got to be Cesaro. You've got to hope now. You've got to hope they've got to go Cesaro. This is Cesaro's time to finally get kind of the win, if that makes sense. Going to go to the comments quickly here. I've got another from Martin. Thank you for coming, Martin. The WWE pull off two babyface and heel turns with Bayley and Black. Someone beat the Big Show streak. I'm not too sure. Wasn't Aleister Black a heel anyway? Aleister Black was a heel, like the Vignettes when he was on before, when he's feuding with Kevin Owens. He was a heel. Bayley, it was a part babyface, but then she then did a heel action kind of after it, so she's still heel. So they're still both heels, I think. But will someone beat the Big Show streak? Possibly. I don't know. It's up there, isn't it? Let's be fair. I think it's one of them where either way it could happen. So crucially, obviously, we then finish the show. So the show ends. We're going out, and this is what I love about the show. Ultimately, they've built stuff up for next week, which is the total opposite of Raw. The show felt fresh. It didn't feel rushed, even though we had the main components throughout the show. Every part of it felt worthwhile. Every part felt enjoyable. And for me, crucially, the thing is, all this work with Roman Reigns, Jey Uso, everybody's getting over regardless of result, which is really, really good. But Daniel Bryan, for me, to lose next week, that'll be him gone probably for a while, which will be a shame. But you've got to do something, unless they're going to do a screwy finish. Roman isn't dropping the belt there on SmackDown. I don't think I'd be common enough to say he's not dropping the belt. If we're going to score the show out of kind of 10, for me, it gets an 8 out of 10. It was really, really good, really solid, loads of fun action. The Mysterio thing was a bit annoying, but the worst thing of all was the Tamina-Natalia thing, but Reginald was back, which kind of made up for it. And I kind of really enjoyed it. I thought it was a really entertaining sort of show for the 2 hours we got. And I think for me, really looking forward to next week to see what they do and how they play off, because obviously they've got this Intercontinental title match next week. They're not going to take the belt off Apollo now already. So for me, I think Apollo has to win. He has to beat Big E. They don't want to pin Big E. Big E doesn't really get pinned generally, although he lost at WrestleMania. That was his kind of first loss since kind of the middle of last year, so he doesn't really lose singles matches. So obviously his loss to Apollo Crews at WrestleMania was screwy because of Commander Aziz, aka Dabba-Kato. So for me, I think it could go either way, but I don't see us getting new champions next week. I think Apollo Crews gets a screwy win. What they need to do really is they're going to need to give Big E some sort of assistance from somebody really to even out Commander Aziz, because Commander Aziz to me looks a presence. He looks like he towers over everybody. Pat McAfee's commentary with Commander Aziz was quite entertaining, where he goes, "Oh, he's the biggest athlete he's ever seen. He's obviously not seen the Big Show. He's obviously not seen Andre Giant. He's obviously not seen anybody. He's obviously not seen the Great Khali." I just thought it was quite comical. But Pat McAfee's commentary again was really, really good. I really kind of enjoyed it. I think he adds a lot of layers to it. In terms of kind of SmackDown as well, I think this was probably one of the better SmackDowns we've seen, really. I think this WrestleMania Backlash is starting to take shape on the SmackDown side. it's the total opposite of Raw, really. Raw, we've got no real matches really announced, apart from the world title match, Lashley and Drew, which I'm not that excited about. If we go into the other kind of news story we've got here as well, actually, I'm just going to get the comments. I've got a great one here from Martin. Thank you again for your comment, Martin. I hope there isn't Screwfish next week, but I guess it will happen. They can't pin Roman Reigns clean, I don't think, which is the thing. I think if it does happen, the only way Daniel Bryan keeps his job or keeps his place is if it's a DQ finish or if it's a count out. You've got to even sort of it out. I don't know whether Cesaro's got to be in some element in the match as well. If they want to get Cesaro Roman Reigns, which is obviously where they're building, it's the only natural challenger based on him beating Seth Rollins at WrestleMania. For me, I think it's going to be a screwy finish, has to be. But I'm excited. This is a pay-per-view level match, and they're giving it on SmackDown. This is what you want. This is exactly what it is. You know exactly what you're getting next week, which is a quality match, really. Going to quickly go to the other story we've got here. So the last story kind of for today I've got, WWE Hall of Famer is scheduled to return. So this week, obviously, there has been kind of rumours going around. Somebody is due to come back, apparently. We've got Mark Henry, apparently, due to come back. Obviously, he's not wrestled since 2017, but apparently he wants to do a farewell tour and do like a real retirement in front of fans. Or at least in front of the Thunderdome. I think Henry could be fun if Mark Henry comes back. I don't know how it would fit with modern work and stuff, modern wrestlers and stuff. I think it'd be something different. Let me know in the comments below. Would you be a fan of Mark Henry coming back? I think he's a legend, although he did look pretty ropey in that promo Randy Orton earlier in the year when Randy Orton was going around terrorising Legends Night back in January. I don't know. I guess that must be a work with the scooter and all that and the Zimmer frame and whatever else. But I think I'd like to see Mark Henry back. As long as he's putting talent over, I think he could be good. I don't really want to see him in lots of matches, but I think he could be good. And that's kind of been it from Jonesy Chats Wrestling today. This has been your SmackDown review. Thank you very much for watching the video. Thank you for your comments as well. I've really enjoyed them, so thank you for the comment mine as well. If you've enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. We're on the way to 120 subscribers. We're only 5 away, so it really would mean the world if it's 120. And thank you all for watching, really. And as always, have yourself a great rest of the weekend. Enjoy the TNA Rebellion pay-per-view if you're watching that tomorrow. And as always, be safe, stay safe, and thank you for all the support. And yeah, enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you for watching.